I finally gave this podcast a name. It's called Through the Wire. So welcome to season 2, episode 2 of Through the Wire. And today I have my friend and co-resident. Her name is Sanjana. Welcome, Sanjana. Thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you so much, Erika. I have known you more in person than through YouTube videos like others. But I feel so lucky. But to be honest, I think it was some time back last year I was trying to Google interview questions. And then Erika comes out and I'm like, I know this person and that's her.
That's how you found me? Or you saw one
before.
of my videos?
Yes, I knew you before, but then I was going through some YouTube videos for questions and then I found your video pop up first.
That's cool. I didn't know that. But a little introduction on how Sanjana and I met. We went to Eastman together. I was doing my preceptorship program, and Sanjana was doing an AEGD program at Eastman. And we met because we did a research project together. To start off, first, give us a little introduction about yourself. Tell us your name, your background, what school you went to, and what brought you here.
Okay. I'm Sanjana Santhosh. I'm from India and I graduated from SRM Dental College. Back home we don't have a pre-med or pre-dental, so we call that as college, but it's equivalent to a dental degree here. I graduated in 2019 and then COVID happened, life happened, so I couldn't come into the United States the following year immediately. I needed a way into the States to pursue my education here in dentistry, and then I attended a preceptorship, or rather an internship in endo, because as much as Erika said I'm her ortho fellow, I have to admit that I like the subject endo as well. So I explored that before I made my decision of, yes, I need ortho.
Okay.
So I went to Temple Dental, Philadelphia. I stayed there for a year. I had completed my internship, and then I got accepted in a couple programs which were accepting international or foreign trained dentists without the boards. Technically because I was stuck at home and I couldn't come here to get the boards done because I needed a way to come into the country, and the only way I could get is tourist visa, and India was so much with COVID, and then I couldn't get here for the boards. So I had to play my ways into the States. I applied for specialization. There is a way for foreign trained dentists. It's not just you have to come here, do the DDS, but you can directly get into specialization. So I had applied for oral medicine, oral path, oral radiology, orofacial pain. I had a diverse profile portfolio. And I also was eyeing on AEGD only because there's an ortho program in Eastman.
Yes.
So I got accepted in 3 programs and I accepted one.
Okay, I think you might have told me a little bit about
Yes.
this. So it seems like your main goal was to come to the U.S.
Main goal was to pursue ortho someday down the lane, but to start somewhere in the country. I can't directly get into ortho because it's so competitive. You might have heard Erika's story of how she got into the ortho program. So I
Yeah.
have something similar as a foreign trained dentist.
Okay, well, congratulations, because
Thank you.
you're right, ortho isn't an easy specialty to get into, but it's good that you knew it wasn't an easy specialty, so you had other plans of how to get into ortho. So what brought you to Eastman? How did you start your AGD program at Eastman?
2017, I think. I was in my 3rd year of dental school when I was thinking of US, and then I typed how to become a dentist in US if you're foreign trained. For some reason, Eastman Dental popped up first because it's so much international friendly. And then I read a few articles. I mean, back then I was researching on how to come, and I ended up reading PubMed articles. And there are PubMed articles for this.
How
How to become a dentist in the United States if you're foreign trained. There are PubMed articles on this.
Oh, wow.
And then Eastman Dental was once again cited as #1. I was like, there's something about this place.
Yeah.
And then when I Googled, I found out AEGD and I researched more. Initially, I was not sure as to, can I get into, does it need a DDS? But then after constant emails, I would have emailed like 80 different times.
Yeah.
During like 3-4 years. And then when I got to know it's here, and then this was one of those few programs which said we highly recommend boards, but it's not required.
Okay. So by boards, you mean the IMBDE or Part 1, Part 2? Okay.
So I applied for Part 1 when it was in 2020, and then they gave me back my money because they said, no, it's COVID, don't come. Take the INBD.
Oh, okay.
So I was the first few batches to take the INBD.
Oh, wow. And then when did you take IMBD here?
2021 December. I came 2021 September, and then I thought I should take my exam. I booked it in October. I took in December, so 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So you studied for 2 months?
Yeah.
And you passed?
Yes.
The first time? Okay.
Yeah.
Making it look easy. And then you started your AEGD program. Can you speak a little bit about that? Because I don't think many people know that there's another route to become a licensed dentist in the U.S. The route that most people know is applying through CAPIT, doing an advanced standing program. That's 2 years. So you're doing a similar program. It's 2 years. What are the differences?
So the difference is you're not going back to dental school, which should make everyone feel happy. You're not going back and studying something which you might have already studied. It's not wrong, but going back to a typo after seeing patients, sometimes it's you don't feel like you're improving, but that's a very good way to also get into the United States, only because it gives you all 50 state license. I mean by DDS. But if you go through PASS, ADEA PASS, which we all use for applying specialization, residency basically, there is AEGD. There's around 166 programs.
Oh, so wow. I didn't even know that.
I emailed every program and asked them, do you accept international trained dentists without a DDS? Of course, a lot of them responded, and there is a GPR as well, which people are not aware of. So
what's the GPR?
It's an general practice residency, right?
Oh, here?
Yeah. You can directly get into GPR as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
A 1-year GPR?
2 years.
Oh, so at other schools, you can do a 2-year GPR and still practice in the U.S.?
Yeah. So
yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are several routes. So AEGD is advanced education in general dentistry. So you're not going back to dental school. You are beginning to treat patients. And it was almost like less than 2 years of my graduation back home. So I was typically considered a fresh graduate when I came here. Even though I did the internship, we don't see patients, right? Temple dental, I mean. So they accepted me for a 3-year. They said, we will give you 1 year of fellowship, which is mandatory. But it's not like observing. You see patients. You can treat patients, and you can do anything you feel confident of, but you will be having a mentor. So that's nice.
Okay, so you did a 1-year fellowship,
in
2 years.
Community clinic. Yeah.
Okay. Did you feel like the fellowship was valuable? Like, did you learn?
Very valuable. It is around 5 miles away from the Eastman Dental Clinic. It's nowhere close to the clinic that you and I are going right now. So there is definitely underserved population there, but I would say more severe version of it.
Okay.
Like we see patients who live in nursing homes, rehabs, and then mentally not doing well, homeless populations. So we see them a few in Eastman Dental. Of course, most of them are underserved, but that's like the majority in that area. So that was called Community Dentistry Fellowship, and that's it's not CODA accredited, but you do the fellowship.
So does everyone that gets into the AEGD have to do the fellowship? Because I have met a lot of people in the AEGD, and now thinking back, most of them, I don't know anyone that didn't do the fellowship.
There is a bunch who don't do the fellowship, and they directly get into the 2 years. So if you ask me who they are, apparently they are like, that's why I mentioned I'm fresh graduate, right? Imagine
so they're more experienced.
Exactly. They are already an endodontist in their country, oral surgeon in their country, practicing 10, 15 plus years.
Okay.
They have a chance, but sometimes even if the 2-year program gets filled, they are asked to do a 3-year. But community dentistry is one of the fellowships. There's few more.
I see. Okay. I moved the camera a little bit. Thanks for sharing all of that information about community dentistry. So you did the 1-year fellowship in community dentistry, and then you did your 2 years of AEGD. So how was your 2 years of AEGD? It's good that you didn't have to work on Typodon, so I feel like that's a huge plus. But I know you sometimes have to do Saturdays.
Yes, so that was one thing in AEGD, which was not in community. We work night clinics every Thursday or Tuesday, just 1 day a week. And then once a month, Saturday, we work for half a day, like 9 to 2 or 3 o'clock. So that's like for the whole 2 years, which I didn't have to do in community. But AEGD is different in community in terms of having better opportunities. Like you have... Community dentistry was just a small clinic. We had limited number of faculty. But in AEGD, we have people who are specialized, like as residents as well as faculty. You want to do endo, you have like a couple faculties. You want to do oral surgery, you have like a bunch of 5 faculties. So the infrastructure is big, the clinic is big, the patient population that I see is almost similar, but the number of patients you see is big. We get less time in AEGD compared to community.
Okay.
So I see around sometimes, if I'm in urgent dental care, the whole day I see around 20 patients.
Which is a huge difference compared to dental school. Because in dental school, you see 2 patients a day.
Makes sense.
That's a huge difference. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, back home in India, I used to see minimum 5 in dental school.
That's even more than in US
Yeah.
dental schools because
Yeah.
I remember when I was in dental school, you would see 1 patient in the morning, 1 patient in the afternoon, and you could see 1 patient in night clinic. So maximum 3.
You had night clinics too?
Yeah, we had night clinics, but it was once a week and it wasn't mandatory.
Okay.
But most people did it to get the requirements done.
We had it, but we had it once in 3 months, so it was not as often. But yeah, AEGD is different that way. I couldn't believe the procedures that I have done so far. Like, I have done so many molar root canals, so many. There are days I just do endos, like
Okay.
morning 3 and afternoon 2, so 5 endos a day. I
Wow.
just book my schedule or block, and then I book for myself endos. And then if it's urgent care, it's a mandatory rotation once a week, but if you want, you can ask for more. And if it's in the morning, you see at least 9, 10 patients, and if it's in the afternoon, you see 6 at least. So sometimes it's more. The whole clinic receives around 100 patients a day.
Wow. Okay, so you're getting a lot of great experience.
Yes.
So with the AGD, can you practice anywhere in the US?
11 states.
11 states.
And that
Do you know
includes
some of the-
New York.
New York is one of the states.
Yes, California.
Those are great states.
Massachusetts, Florida.
Florida, that's a great state.
Washington.
Okay, that's a great option.
So Massachusetts and California, as of now, I would say they accept AEGD, but with a limited license to practice in community clinic, FQAC centers
Okay.
for 2 years, and then you get unrestricted.
Okay.
But other states that I mentioned, you get the full license directly.
Okay, so you said this is only for Massachusetts
And California.
and California. Okay. So New York, you can practice anywhere.
New York,
right after
The
graduating.
thing with New York is you need 1 more year of AEGD. Technically, should my community dentistry be a CODA accredited, which it's not,
I see.
it would have been 3 years.
But now that you're going to do ortho for 2 years,
Yes.
does that mean?
After ortho, I can practice in New York.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So this is best case scenario
You need
for
a
you.
3-year of clinical dentistry, basically, in New York State.
Okay.
So ortho counts as a specialization, although it's 2 years more. But I have to finish the 2 years of ortho. Some residents or some students come and ask me, if I finish the first year of ortho, can I get licensed? Because it's technically the 3rd year in New York.
Yeah.
No, you have to finish the program.
Yeah, it won't be worth it either because you can't practice as
Exactly.
like an orthodontist with a
I
certificate.
know, but some people want to do general dentistry in their final year, maybe, during Saturdays or when they have time and
I
during their
see.
residencies. But you need
Okay.
your license for that, right?
Okay. Well, speaking about ortho, how do you feel about getting into residency and starting residency in less than a month?
So it still gives me goosebumps. I don't know if you see it that I'm starting in.
I can verify she has goosebumps.
I'm starting it in less than a month. It started in 2016, I would say, when my first professor in dental school was talking about ortho. But during dental school, that was the subject, I should admit, was least taught. And when something is not taught or told, I'm a very curious person. I'm like, what's this? Why is this a secret?
Yeah, it seems like they were hiding it. Even when I went to dental school, we had a couple ortho courses, but I feel like we never really learned it.
I should admit,
almost like they were hiding it.
Yeah. It's
Or
like,
I don't know.
I knew class 1, class 2, class 3 after dental school. I was
Class
like,
class 1 malocclusion, class 2, class 3. Yeah.
Three malocclusions. And I would tell, oh, you need ortho. No, you need ortho. That's it. That I think even a layman could say if they find the teeth not straight. But I could tell a little bit more, oh, it's class 2. You need ortho. So I was very curious and I thought like maybe this is something that I should explore. And back in dental college, dental school in India, I attended a lot of conferences, interstate, national. And whenever I was asked to choose a topic, I always chose ortho-related topic. I published a paper on nanotechnology in orthodontics 2018 or 19, but it was not a high super journal. But yeah, I did something.
But still, you published.
Yeah, with my mentor, Dr. Dilip, I have to mention his name. And then I had like 3-4 best paper or poster awards. Everything was ortho. Then I was like, maybe something about ortho is for me in future. But when I thought of US, the whole of ortho dream took a step back, because coming to the US itself was a big deal. Now, much more if I target on ortho directly, I knew like one step at a time. So
that's
come
a
here
good
and
way
do
to think about it.
something. Yeah, come here, do something. And my life just happened, I would say, Erika, at
You stay there.
at
Okay.
different times of life, there was different type of support. My parents would say like, okay, maybe you can do this, we can support you in this. And then I came here, and then eventually they said, yeah, we can try to support more, because things with COVID, everyone was hard, like badly hit, and I had to think of my family's financial situation. It's very expensive to be in US if you are an international. So then I had to choose something which was not so expensive. That's AEGD was not so expensive, as well as giving me very, very good hands-on. And then cherry to the cake, having an ortho program in this place. I don't know, life just happened for me. And then as soon as I came here in community, within 2 months, I met with our program director saying, you know what, 3 years down the lane, I will apply for ortho.
So you mentioned, so you talked to our program director and you put it in his head.
Yeah. Then he was
Like, think about me.
Yeah, because he was wondering that I would be applying that year. I said, no. Then he asked me the following year. I said, no. You're applying next year? I'm like, yeah.
You were smart because you knew that ortho was really hard to get into.
Yeah.
Because I was applying last year, the year before, and I didn't get in, and we were working on the research paper. I thought you were applying that year too.
And I never really thought we would get accepted the same year. I always thought you would be my senior, my big sim, basically.
But
then
look at us now. Okay, yeah, let's talk about research, because I knew a little bit about research, but when I met you, it seemed like you knew what you were doing, and you've published multiple papers. And I feel like you're so young. How old are you? I don't think we discussed that.
29.
You're-
Just 29.
You just turned 29. Okay.
It's not too young, okay?
It's not too young, but you've accomplished a lot, and it's inspiring. And yeah, let's talk about that. How did you first get interested in research, and how did you start doing research?
So it makes me think about a professor back in dental school, public health department. I don't know if anyone likes that subject, because I really didn't like that subject back
Public health?
Yeah, public health, dental public health. It was so boring. I'm so sorry, guys, but if someone likes it who's watching, I'm so sorry. Maybe I just couldn't understand it. So the professor there told me there's 2 projects, one out of which one you can choose to graduate from your final year of dental college school, and one is doing research, or you go for a camp, you conduct a dental camp outside, right? Go to another school, do a oral health screening for kids.
A camp?
Dental camp. We call it dental camp back home. It's like oral health screening.
Okay.
You just take those mouth mirrors, the disposable ones, and oral health education to kids. You just fluoride application to 5th grade or 6th grader.
Okay, you're doing something in the community.
Okay. So you have to arrange that, go do it for one day, at least for 100 students, or take research. Most of them, I don't know why they chose that over research, because they found research more harder. So, and then I thought maybe research should be easy, because I can be at home and do it, like write a review paper, right? But then I was still unmotivated, because I'm also an extrovert. I wanted to go out. But then he said, I would like candidates who choose research, because camps, yes, people will remember the good work you do, but research, even after you die, there's going to be, you're going to leave your mark.
Yeah,
It's
you
gonna
do
be
leave your
there.
mark.
Yeah, exactly. It's not me, of course. I'm a very, very, it's like a particle in the sand. The research community is very big.
Yeah.
So then that made me like, oh, will my paper be there even after I am no longer
Here.
there, here in this world? So that part of his comment was very motivating. I did something on hobbies and extracurricular activities. Our dentist actually continuing to do it after getting into dental school. Basically the burnout. So I conducted a survey, and then I found out almost 92 or 93% of dentists in my local community they just stopped their hobby as soon as they got into their second year of dental school. At least they were like, no, there's no time. I wish I go for my practices. I wish I do this. I wish I do that. Basically, how important it is to keep doing what you like. And then back home, I would say maybe I didn't have time, or I didn't have the opportunity to grab into proper resources. With research, I understood one thing: you may want to do it, but you need good mentors. Because that's one thing when you don't know what you're doing, you're lost.
Yes.
And then I tried to do a few back home. I was lucky enough, but when I came here, I found out research was everything to get into dental, like residency and everything. I started off early in Temple Dental. I was trying to find someone to help me find a topic for systematic review, because I knew that doing an original research requires approvals, and I have to be in a residency. I can't be a preceptor and leave that place in like 6 months. Right?
Yes.
So then I was trying to look for a review topic. I don't know. I was just lost. I was wasting time, I would say. But when I got into Eastman is super known for research.
And they have really good mentors.
Yes. Yes.
I experienced that too, because I didn't publish anything before until I got into Eastman.
Yeah. So then in community clinic, my mentor, Dr. E, she has like 3,000 plus citations. So when I Googled her name, then I was like, you have so many citations, Dr. E. Can you help me write an article I've been wanting to write? And then I published 2 with her when I was there. And then I got in touch with our program director too. And I learned that he loves research as well. So that's how it just started naturally. But I'm still continuing to do it because I think I
Do you love it?
I love it. I love
You
it.
do?
My husband at this point is like, are you mad?
I don't know if I love it. Sometimes I do love it, especially when the paper got published.
Yeah.
I kind of had like a rush of, wow, this is really cool.
Exactly.
Like I was able to do
How many
something.
times would you have typed your name on PubMed and checked that your name is on PubMed? Didn't that give you a good feeling?
Yeah, so it does feel good, but then thinking back, it was a lot of work.
It definitely is. I wouldn't deny, especially with AEGD, with clinic and night clinic, and then come home and brainstorm. And as internationals, for people who are watching as well, you do part-time jobs, you do student worker jobs, and we are allowed to do particular time, like 20 hours a week. You do that. It's not mandatory, but you can manage your expenses, right? So I was doing that as well. I'm not going to be trying to. I was at one point feeling burnt out,
Yeah.
and then I had to take a break. I did take a break, and then I realized my stay also in the country, if I do more research, could become stable. I'm still continuing to do it. I think I'll do it for another couple more, maybe more years. I'm not going to say couple more years, because one, I like doing it. It's very, I know it's intensive, but the results of it, it's very sweet. When it gets published, I'm like so happy. Second is for particular countries like India, China, Philippines, it's very competitive to be in the United States with green card application, because right now it's taking a number of years. So there is a category of visa called EB1, Einstein visa. It's called Einstein because you have to work
be very
like,
smart.
yeah, not just research. You have to have enough citations. Like you have to show the world, different people from the world, they are reading your articles, and that's the proof is they're citing your article. And then if you're peer reviewing, you're judging the work of others. And then there are 10 categories, one of which is like you have to be earning more than the national standard. Imagine for orthodontists, it's like just saying 100,000. It's not 100,000.
Yeah.
You know it.
You have to
be
be
making 150.
Okay.
So there
To
are
have
some,
this visa.
there are some criterias to tick off. If you tick off like 3, 4, 5 out of the 10, you're eligible to apply for that. And then your wait time is considerably reduced. Like in a couple years, right now for Indians, even that takes a couple years to get your green card. And for other countries, it's immediate, it's current, because it's very...
It's easier.
Yeah,
for,
it's easier because there's nobody like that from your country representing. And for India, there's still smart brains. I'm so proud I'm from there, but it also... Like, there's a chunk of people who are already trying for this visa. So...
What are some of the ticks or some of the requirements that are on there?
Exactly. One, I said high paying job,
Okay.
and memberships, not like memberships where you just apply and pay and be members. You have to be invited to be a member.
Okay.
It's like PFA, Pyrefortune Academy, There are some.
Don't know what that is.
Yeah, there are some dental big organizations, and then board certification. Yes, that plays a role. How many published, peer-reviewed articles do you have? How many citations you have? Judging the work of others. Have you been judged? And have you ever been a judge in an event, like say a poster presentation, and you were a judge?
Okay, so that's good to know. So all these accolades that you've accumulated are actually also helping you
with my visa. I hope it helps, but someday it should pay off, right? So we never know. I have this attitude: do what you can when you are in a position. Someday it'll get paid off. You won't know, because there were a lot of things I did thinking it'll pay off in that particular way, which I thought it would, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But something else that I didn't even think, oh, that helped me really, and that paid off. So I go with the mindset, in your means, in your power, if you have access to things that you can do, you have to do them. And you can't be hard on yourself. You have to enjoy life too. I enjoy doing it. I tell myself this is not a punishment, because this is something I wanted to do 5 years ago. So now if I'm complaining, oh, I have research, what is this? No, 5 years ago I was in India. I wanted to be here. I wanted to be doing research. Now I'm doing it. Why am I complaining?
That's a good mindset. That's what I try to say too. Like when I was in dental school, I wanted to get into dental school so badly that I really had a great time because I wanted to do that so badly. And now with ortho, I feel like I've been wanting it for so long. I'm going to enjoy every second of it because we've been wanting this. Now, some advice that you have for the viewer. So for an international dentist that is viewing this video that is interested in orthodontics as their long-term goal, what advice do you have for them?
Again, I'm sorry to use this word, research well.
Okay, no, the research. I agree.
Do your homework. Do your homework so well, because every single person's path is so different in the United States, especially if you're an international. And things keep changing every year. Some dental schools would have stopped accepting international students for a particular program beginning this year. Some dental schools would start accepting from next year. So be updated, email, find out information about the program. And if you're traveling, if someone is traveling for their boards, which every single international student right now is trying to clear their boards and then apply, during your visit, be very specific. You can try to email the program directors or program coordinators, go visit them, meet them, bring up your questions before them. Basically do your research, and then you will know where your path is. Like for me, I made an Excel sheet. I knew, okay, this is what I want to do. This is how much money I have. What will fall under this? I have so much time only. And for instance, some people are fine doing preceptorship after preceptorship after preceptorship because they want to be sure as to what they want. For me, I didn't have a choice. Given a choice, of course, I maybe would have done it. But for me, I didn't want to keep postponing my decision. Like, okay, true, do I want to be an endodontist? Do I want to be an orthodontist? Sit down, be serious with your life. That way you save time, money, energy. So be sure of what you want. And when you know what you want, somebody would have just started Googling, how do I become a dentist? Now, you may want to become an orthodontist in future, but like that. It was like that for me. I wanted to become a dentist in the US. So how can I become a dentist was my first goal. Eventually an orthodontist, and that's where I am. But it's different for different people. We have our other resident who wanted to just be an orthodontist, and he was goal focused.
Yes. Are you talking about Ibrahim?
Ibrahim.
He was in the first podcast video.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched that, go watch that now. Your mindset was, I'll do one step at a time.
Exactly. Because for me, like just like I said, life happens. Eventually, I figured I have more support. Of course, my parents did the maximum, the best they could. And then when I needed to do ortho, when I asked my husband, can we do? He said yes. So that support, if you were to ask me 4 years before when I initially wanted to come, I didn't even know that I'm going to plan my future this way. But eventually, all that I started doing from third year of dental school, my first research project, presentations in orthodontics since my dental school, all of that kind of built up my resume today that I got accepted. So it's not like today you wake up and say, I want to do this, I want to become this. Nobody is going to give you that opportunity. You have to grab the opportunity when you have, and you never know when what comes in handy.
That's great advice, Sanjana. Thank you so much. For the last question of today is, where do you see yourself in 2 years after graduating ortho? Do you want to stay in the U.S.? Is your goal to practice in the U.S.? Is your goal to go back to India? Where do you want to live? And I know you mentioned you have a husband. I've met him as well. So you guys have to work together and decide on a place that you want to live. So it's not just you. You guys have to think together. So it's good that you have that support system as well.
That's true. I'm very grateful for him. So right now, I take it one step at a time.
Okay,
At
good
this
mindset.
point, I'm going to finish my residency. My husband is moving to California because he got a good opportunity there where we feel he would grow in that private office. He's a nephrologist. And then if he likes the place, I'm going to move there. As I mentioned, after AEGD, you're allowed to practice in California. Okay, for someone who would have just done a residency, you cannot practice in California. You have to practice in a state which accepts direct specialization for 5 years and apply to California through reciprocity. That's, again, everything is mentioned in dental board's website, like every state's dental board. Since I have this AEGD, I have the opportunity to go to California. If my husband says, yes, this is a place, then I'll go there. I'll be doing 2 years of community clinic where I may, or I think I may have to do general dentistry for 2 years. Maybe integrate it a little bit with I can have ortho patients there maybe once a week, twice a week, and then do that to get fully licensed in the state and then start practicing. But I am definitely going to be in touch with the academics at least 1 day a week. That's like my goal. That is definitely going to help me keep updated and then feel young, because we all are going to get old in my 40s, 50s, 60s, and if I'm still interacting with people in 20s who's doing ortho, maybe I'll feel young too. So
That's a good way to put it, to go into academics to feel young. And I have heard other people say this, because you're interacting with young professionals, you get to teach, you get to learn still from them. In the future, I think I also want to go into academics, probably not as hardcore as you. I don't think I love research that much. I do like it, and I am willing to do more research, but I eventually want to teach once I have more money and can afford to teach.
That's true. Academia is challenging in that way, but yeah, it's not for research that I want to go to academia. It's just to be updated and have the mindset that I'm still learning, because to me, I feel if for a personality like me, if I go full-fledged into private practice, I would only be doing what I know rather than knowing what's happening around. Yes, of course, I would go attend conferences. That's like once in a while, right? So, I mean, I enjoy. So I would do part-time once a week, or maybe half a day a week also works. And then, yeah, that's like a plan. It's not like a short goal. Things can happen where my husband comes and says, oh, I don't like California, let's move to another state. So in that case, in another state, I would be a fully fledged orthodontist, right? So I wouldn't have to do community. So things are different. And yes, I see myself being here for some more years, more than 5 years, 7 years, because I've invested a lot of money. And the reason I said I want to try for the Einstein visa, which I'm trying to work on, I don't know where I'm going to end up, how competitive it's going to become, is to be stabilized in the country. And the other challenge that I face, unlike many others like you, my husband is also a physician and he has to go in person for work. Had he been working from home, then I can go to a place where I'm going for work and then he's at home, or it's flexible. So we have to find a place where he has a job and a sponsor, a visa, I have a job and then I have a sponsor in the same at least 10-mile radius, right?
Yes, a lot of things coming into play that you have to think about.
That's one of the reasons I don't think much. My brain explodes. I'm like, one day at a time.
Yeah, let's think about it one day at a time. But that was a great conversation. Thank you so much for coming on this podcast with me. I'm so excited to be spending the next 2 years with you. I'm sure I'm going to learn so much from you.
No. I'm going to learn from you too, please. Don't put me up so high.
Yeah, no, I already learned so much from her. So thank you so much, Sanjana. hopefully you guys found some valuable information on this. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next podcast episode. Bye-bye.